Hi everybody, it's Carla from Casey Creates. Thought I'd show you what I've been working on. I was very inspired by a fairy door card that Shaz made on her channel over at Crafted Seasons, and it was just real whimsical and pretty with flowers and vines. And everybody who watches me knows I've always made clay fairy houses, and I love fairy doors and the forest theme, pretty much everything. So I wanted to try my hand at making some little mini Woodland Fairy journals. And so the door of the little pocket journal is a fairy door. And so I have a couple, actually I have three, but I used this wood grain scrapbook paper, and it was pretty simple, but I actually went in and cut out little layers, I don't know if you can see, so that it would make it look more like tree bark. And then I copied the paper several different times, running it through and slightly moving it so it would get more wood grain feel to it. And so the first one, it's not completely finished because I still have to sew a seam to attach the journal pages, but this is the cover of the first one that I made, and I put some little silk flowers that I sprayed with my little atomizers, have dye in them. These were white, so I just kind of wanted to make the colors of the flowers not too bold, but anyway, muted down a little bit. And then I took hemp, and I don't know if you can see that, but I kind of twisted and curled the hemp so that it would look like vines. And then the window is it's what is it? Tracing paper. I'll show you. I copied these little bottle cap images onto tracing paper, and I just cut them out, and I glued them into the little cutout. So if you were to hold this up to the light, it's sort of translucent. You can see through it. And then I have one lonely little punch that makes this really nice leaf print right here, and it makes a flower. I haven't really used that, but I love the leaf shape that it gives you. So I just sort of made a wreath around the window and made it kind of do some vining, and then I had a few of these teeny little silk flowers that I thought worked really well. And then one here, I put that one there just to kind of pop out the mushroom that I cut out. I love woodland mushrooms, and so I wanted to make sure when I make my clay fairy houses, I always put little clay mushrooms and vines and leaves, and so this is sort of resembling the things I would make out of clay. Excuse me. So that is the door. I made it a little irregular here so that, let me see if I can tip this up a little bit more. A little floppy there. It sort of looked like a little whimsical shaped door. And then on the inside there is the side of the door has a little tuck flap, and I used some vintage floral rustic kind of paper so that when I finally get tags made, I can stick a tag under there. And then I also just made a little wreath of leaves to go around the window. I don't know if you can see my finger on the other side, just to show you that that's that's transparent, not transparent, translucent, that's the word I'm thinking of. Anyway, this is all tea dyed paper, and I just tore a little corner of the wood grain paper so that when you close it, you don't see the paper, you see the wood grain. Sorry, I have glue everywhere. And then I put another mushroom image there, and I didn't sew the pages in yet, so I'll just show you the little booklet of papers. This one is really earthy looking, and there's an image of a pine tree, but you can't really see it, but you can journal on it. That's all tea-dyed paper. And then I copied onto the paper because I wanted the image to be real faint so that when you journal it won't be too bold and you'll still be able to see your writing. And this page has a faint copied pine tree, and there's a squirrel, and this one has a butterfly, and then this one has more mushrooms. I love the mushrooms that are red with the little white speckles on top. I don't know if they're poisonous. I wouldn't try to eat them, but they sure are pretty. And then this page has some berries with a leaf, and this one has a feather. And this page has a pine branch. And then the last page is just tea-dyed. But it's just a small little notebook that you could journal in. You could also take this notebook and put it in a larger journal, which I'm going to probably use one, excuse me, for my Enchanted Forest Castle journal that I'm still working on. And then this one, oh, that glue, it's all over my finger. This one has a little belly band here that you can stick a tag in. So I'm going to make some tags for the little journals as well. So that is one of them that just needs the journal pages sewn in and a couple of tags. And then this one, I did a few fall leaves on this one. That's very colorful. It also has a little bunch of mushrooms there. I think I'm going to put a little pop dot under there and layer this with another one so it's got a little more dimension. But I did the door the same way. I just cut out some layers of bark and layered it all, and I also inked it a little so that it would have some variation in color. And then it's got the little tracing paper window, parchment window, and then I punched out a few more leaves, and I actually think I want to punch a few more out. Excuse me. Oh! Oh my gosh. If you're used to me by now, you know I typically am a train wreck. Things often go flying when I'm working on stuff. Like that. This leaf is all the way over here. Okay. Rescued. Anyway, that's how it punches out, and I was just gonna glue a couple to the inside of my window here. I like how they're sort of shaped arch-like, so they can kind of go around something round like this. It would be nice to have another color of some sort so that it'll pop out a little better, but I don't right now have one. So this one's not quite finished yet. I just love the forest and all of the things that you can imagine live there. We used to spend all of our summer in the country, so going out in the woods just to go for a walk was really no big deal. Oh, see, that one just got chewed all up. I'll do this one. And I just love trees and how whimsical they are, how God creates trees in such different shapes. And the branches do all kinds of fun things. And I could look at an interesting tree for a long time. They have really odd shaped trees here in Arizona. I mean, they do all kinds of crazy twists and turns, and I'm not quite sure why that is. But I can imagine. with my imagination, the fairies and things living there. You have to kind of relive your childhood sometimes. So, anyway, just rimming it like that with leaves on the inside cover. And then this is that weathered looking wood grain scrapbook paper with the roses on it, and I inked it so that it would look even more weathered, and just put that little belly band on this one as well. And then I'll put a tag down in there, which could even serve as a bookmark maybe. And then this is the insert for this one, which is very similar to the first one. It's got a little bit of the wood grain paper and mushrooms in the corner. And then you can see the little pine trees maybe a little better on this one. This one really got coffee dyed. Lots of speckles. And then again there's the pine tree and the squirrel and the butterfly and the mushrooms and the berries and the feather and the pine branch. And I'm just going to zip a sewing seam down the middle of both so that they will hold together. And then my third one's real plain. I copied this one a little too dark. The wood grain is a little hard to see, but I haven't really embellished this one much yet, but I will. So I've got 3 wood, like fairy woodland forest themed mini pocket journals that were really fun to make, and I'm going to cover some cards to go inside. I found this really cool looking trim. I haven't even opened it yet. I'm not sure. This was tucked down in a bag of things at the thrift store. And I love the colors. As you can see, it'd be good to make borders on tags and bookmarks. So I'm going to cover this tag with coffee dyed paper. I usually use tacky glue for all things paper, and I use my Fabri-Tac for things that might not adhere as well. This is my tacky glue. So this is just me getting a couple tags ready to go in my journal, and I'll just cut around it. I don't mind putting the paper on the front and the back because it just makes the tag more sturdy. My scissors probably went flying a bit ago. Oh no, they're there. So I don't have to worry about that. And I can't quite see where the edge is, but on this particular tag I'm not picky about it being perfectly straight, because when you think about things growing in the forest, nothing is perfectly symmetrical, I guess, unless God grew it that way. But I like how organic things are often irregular. That allows for artists like me to not have to feel like everything has to look perfect. Like so. I'm sorry for jiggling the camera, you guys. So that's gonna go there. And I think I'm just going to whimsically tear a piece of this wood grain stick this on like so. And I think I'll leave this so that if somebody wanted to journal there, they could. Like so. And then I'm just going to trim off that edge that you can see was done on the copier, so it won't show up. And on the back, I've got some more of this wood grain paper. So, maybe I'll just do the same on the other side. Let's see. Oh, I think I tore that wrong. I did. Well, that's okay. We'll do this. I like that rose. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just said that, didn't I? And I could leave that little white edge there, or I could stain it with some ink. Okay, I like the white showing through, brightens it up a little bit. I'm going to roll that glue off because I don't like that. Okay, so there is a little tag, and I could put, I don't have a punch over here, but I think maybe a little hemp would be pretty in there. I'm going to stick a tag, little piece of hemp in here, like this. Pull it through. There. Nothing fancy, just a little tag to stick in the back. So I'll put it in this one, since this one doesn't have the flowery paper. Well, I can do a little more glue right there. There we go. There. Oh, it actually fits perfectly. So there's a little tag for the back. A little tie on there. And that's that. So I guess I'm going to go for now. I just wanted to craft with you for a minute, show you my journals, and maybe inspire you to try one too. So thanks for watching, everybody. I'll be back again with another video soon. Have a happy day.